It all began in November 2012, when José Salvador Alvarenga, a 36-year-old fisherman from El Salvador, set out on what was supposed to be a routine fishing expedition. Accompanied by a young companion, they ventured into the Pacific Ocean with high hopes in a boat filled with supplies. Little did they know that this journey would turn into a fight for survival. Their boat, equipped to handle a few days at sea, would soon face the wrath of nature. When a storm hit unexpectedly, their vessel was capsized, and they were thrown into the tumultuous waters. This moment marked the start of an unimaginable ordeal. Alvarenga and his companion clung to their boat for dear life as the waves crashed around them, but soon their paths diverged. This decision would change Alvarenga's life forever, leaving him alone in the vast ocean, with only the sky and waves for company. Lost at sea, Alvarenga faced the harsh reality of survival. With no fresh water and limited food supplies, he was forced to confront his worst fears. The days turned into weeks, and the scorching sun turned his skin to leather. To quench his thirst, he learned to collect rainwater using makeshift techniques, fashioning a tarp to catch the precious droplets. However, the real struggle came from hunger. With no fish biting and supplies dwindling, he had to adapt. Alvarenga turned to the ocean, catching fish with his bare hands and even resorting to consuming the flesh of sea turtles that drifted by. His resourcefulness was put to the test as he learned to eat raw fish and drink blood, pushing his limits in ways he never imagined. Each day was a battle against despair, marked by the gnawing hunger and the relentless heat of the sun. He often found himself talking to the vast ocean, trying to keep his sanity intact, and wondering if he would ever see land again. As the days turned into months, Alvarenga's survival instincts kicked in. He became a master of adaptation. He learned to use the resources around him in creative ways to stay alive. One of the most critical survival techniques he developed was fishing with bare hands, which required immense patience and skill. He also fashioned a makeshift shelter on his small boat using salvaged materials. This rudimentary shelter provided him some relief from the sun and occasional rain. Furthermore, Alvarenga's days were structured around the rhythm of the ocean. He would observe the tides and the behavior of the sea creatures to improve his chances of catching food. He became acutely aware of his environment, honing his instincts. Furthermore, he kept a journal, documenting his experiences and thoughts, providing a glimmer of hope and a connection to humanity amidst the isolation. His ability to adapt was remarkable, showcasing the strength of the human spirit in the face of overwhelming odds. While physical survival was crucial, the psychological battle was equally challenging. José Salvador Alvarenga fought isolation and despair daily. The vastness of the ocean weighed heavily on his mind. To combat loneliness, he created imaginary conversations with his companion and even with the sea. He spoke aloud, recounting his life, reminiscing about family and friends, which helped him maintain his sanity. As the days turned into months, the emotional toll intensified. Alvarenga experienced moments of hope when he spotted distant ships or birds, believing rescue was imminent. However, these moments were often followed by crushing disappointment when they passed by without noticing him. Still, he clung to hope like a lifebuoy in the stormy sea of his mind. With each passing day, he learned to find solace in the tiny victories, catching fish, storing rainwater, or simply the joy of seeing a sunset. His mental resilience became a cornerstone of his survival, proving that the fight for life is as much about the mind as it is about the body. After an astounding 438 days adrift, Alvarenga's ordeal finally came to an end. In January 2014, he found himself washed up on a remote island in the Marshall Islands. When local fishermen discovered him, they were astounded. Alvarenga's physical condition was shocking. He had lost significant weight, and his skin was weathered and sunburnt. But more than his physical state, it was his story that left them in awe. He communicated his incredible journey, detailing how he survived against all odds. The fishermen quickly took him to a nearby hospital, where he was treated for malnutrition and dehydration. News of his survival spread like wildfire, and he became an icon of resilience. His story served not only as a testament to the power of the human spirit but also as a reminder of the unpredictability of life at sea. Alvarenga's journey became a source of inspiration for many, a narrative of hope that resonated worldwide. What can we take away from José Salvador Alvarenga's extraordinary survival story? His experience teaches us about resilience, adaptability, and the sheer will to survive. In the face of adversity, Alvarenga demonstrated that hope could be a lifeline, even in the direst situations. His story reminds us of the importance of mental strength, the ability to remain calm in chaos, and the power of the human spirit to endure. Furthermore, Alvarenga's journey highlights the critical need for preparation and respect for nature. Being aware of the risks and having the right equipment can mean the difference between life and death at sea. His tale encourages us to embrace hope, adapt to our circumstances, and never underestimate the strength we carry within ourselves. Ultimately, Alvarenga's story is not just a survival tale, it is a powerful reminder that even in the darkest times, the human spirit can prevail.